is on EA Sports as we bring you a look inside Highmark Stadium here at Orchard Park, New York. Tonight we They indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Tonight we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Two clubs here each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Allen going to go to the air right away. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense.
And he's going to go down again. Emmanuel Ogbah. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. The Bills send the punter out. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Here's Hill on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Ready. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Ready up. Now Tua on the bootleg here. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Ready? Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Ready. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Rolling, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And award that sack to Boogie Basham. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end and have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and that will force a turnover on downs. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Allen now looks to throw. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Allen and Knox teaming up there for Buffalo 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. The Bills had 0-1 of the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Allen going to keep it again, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Now a timeout called for by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to have it here just past the 25.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half. And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Bradley Chubb. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just shut something down and punt the football.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Javonte Williams, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fields it right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know, they're going to
touchdown Bills. Dawson Knox, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught in the end zone. So it goes for 2 points on the fake and gives them a lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play. You come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
Here we go.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Throwing Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get the momentum going again.
In motion, Hill. Play action. Now it's Tua. He's got a man. Complete. 20, 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Check right. Ready?
The two are going to try and throw for it. And it'll be intercepted. Desmond King picks it.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but for this drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Allen looks to throw on second down. He's got a man. Complete. The 20. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bills have regained the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Take it in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
On second and 10, Tua. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what